making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector, from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy. Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television. Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, News breaks and events happens. We bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
Inikpe of Igala land. She's such an intriguing historical figure. Inikpe was a princess and a priestess from the Igala kingdom, which is currently located in the present-day Nigeria. Her story is one of sacrifice and loyalty. Legend has it that during the 16th century, the Igala kingdom was under threat from the neighboring kingdom of Jukun. Inikpe, in an act of immense bravery, volunteered to be sacrificed to the gods in order to save her people from impending invasion. Inikpe's sacrifice was seen as a selfless act of devotion and love for her kingdom. Her story has been passed down through generations, and she's celebrated as a symbol of courage and sacrifice in Igala culture. To this day, Inikpe's story continues to inspire many, highlighting the strength and resilience of African women in history. Her legacy serves as a reminder of the power of selflessness and the lengths people are willing to go to protect their communities.
Hello Nigeria, it's another exciting episode of the Issues and Voice of the People television, and we bring you the most important and pressing issues shaping our nation today. I am your host, Nenna Ndomdioto. Today on the Issues, we're examining the complexities of Nigeria's politics and governance, from President Tinubu signing electoral bill into law to Chief Justice of Nigeria lamenting corruption allegations against the judiciary. Also, Peter Obi criticizes Tinubu over unstable electricity. And finally, Kano Governor Abba Yusuf defends move to APC. Join us as we break down the fact and provide context to help you stay informed. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll dig deeper into these topics. Don't go away. Glad to have you back. Let's dive straight into what we have for you today. President Bola Tinubu has signed the Electoral Act 2022 Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2026 into law. This follows the passage of the bill by the National Assembly on Tuesday after months of deliberations. Before passing the bill, the Senate amended Clause 28 of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, slashing the notice of election requirements by 60 days from 360 days to 300, leaving the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, the flexibility to fix the election date between December 2026 and January 2027. Meanwhile, former Senator Shehu Sani says that while the introduction of electronic transmission of results is important, it alone cannot guarantee credible polls. Sani noted that while technology can enhance transparency, it cannot substitute for political will and institutional integrity. Earlier on, a former INEC Commissioner, Mike Igini, had urged President Bola Tinubu not to sign the amended act, saying some provisions could spark confusion and chaos if implemented hastily. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by Dr. Anosike, who is a philosopher, development economist, and best-selling author. He's also an erudite commentator on economy, finance, politics, and power. He's also the author of the most talked about book titled Abuse of Power: How Democracy Turned into Tyranny of the Few. Glad to have you join us, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome, sir. I'm sure that you already saw the breaking news before you came in here, and of course I've read it. What do you make of it?
Tinubu say that that his name should be in the Guinness Book of Records. And I feel that with the speed this amendment was signed, is enough to put his name in the Guinness Book of Records. So this is but it's unfortunate, and this is it is unfortunate that this is happening at this point in time when everybody is talking about doing things right, and he feels that if he waits a minute, that things can go wrong. So that is the speed of signing it that's internal. But the issue is this: I still believe that power belongs to the people, and the people united can never be defeated. If Nigerians say enough of Tinubu's administration, nothing can stop it. If the Nigerian people come out boldly and say enough of this madness, nothing will stop it. So he has signed it, that's into law, while the process has not been fully exhausted. The same way the tax reform bill was signed into law without exhausting that's all the processes. So the issue that's I believe in what for the first time in many months, I believe in what Shehu Sani said, because Shehu Sani lost his integrity, lost his credibility under this administration. Before, I was hailing him because he was one of those that were in prison when the fight for democracy was on. He participated actively and was one of those that were in prison. So with that, as an activist, I had respect for him. But I didn't know that he only complains when things are not favoring him. But when things are favoring him, all is well. Because El-Rufai is not in Tinubu's administration. That's why he is praising Tinubu. But an activist should always stand for the truth, no matter who is in favor or is against. An activist, his number one priority is the people and not the government. So he did that under Buhari administration, but I read him wrong then, because he was outside. Today he is inside. Understand? But what he said, that it is not only the electoral bill that makes election free, fair, and credible. That is 100%. He's right. INEC is not the only people that rigs the election or manipulates the process. The security agencies are part of it. Political parties are also part of it. So if the political party did not do the right thing, no matter what INEC does, understand, the election will not be credible, because one, INEC don't hire thugs. INEC don't snatch ballot boxes. It is political parties that does this. Understand me? Then, so if INEC is on the right path, and the other agencies of government, the security agencies, or the political parties, even the masses, are not getting it right, there's no way election that will be free, fair, and credible. So for election to be credible, it's all hands on deck. All the relevant agencies must do their work fully. So what Sheikh Hussaini said is true. But APC as a government know that they have not delivered on their campaign promises. So the only way they can get back to power is through manipulated processes. So that is why if you check those that voted for transmission of results in real time, it is mostly the 15 people that's in the opposition, Natasha, Abaribe, Victor Mendes, and others. The APC senators, all of them were on the other side because they know that they are indebted to Nigeria.
Something as in that line, but and you're saying the process has not been completed, but we've seen that the president has signed this into law. When we talk about process,
that you cannot go to court if you want.
Okay, so you know one of the things that
can be challenged in the court.
The Senate had that. One of the things they did was to put up a harmonization committee. But I don't think there was any harmonization. I don't, because we saw how some of the rep members walked out.
Recount.
What do you say?
Begin to do the opposite of what they
wanted before. And then now some of them walked out. And so all those things have not been completed. And then we now see the president signing this into law. A very hasty, some persons will say that it's very hasty.
That's why I say his name should enter Guinness Book of Record for this speed. Understand me? They should put his name in the Guinness Book of Record for signing this law in real time. So this can really be done in real time in Nigeria. And he has shown it.
Shown an example that things can be
done in real time.
When you talk about taking this entire thing to court, who would now take this matter to court? Is it the civil society groups?
Civil society groups can do it, and political parties can do it. Individuals can do it.
So what's the chances of this if eventually this is taken to court?
Well,
what are the chances?
There's nothing that cannot be challenged in court. So asking me
the chances.
What are the chances? One, I'm not a judge.
I understand.
Yes, I'm not a judge. But when you see what happened in the National Assembly, you know that due process was not followed. Understand me? Due process was not followed. Understand? So it is a good ground to go that to court, that to ask for interpretation. Understand? Because the National Assembly has done theirs. The executive has done theirs by the president signing. Then the judiciary is now behoves on them to interpret whether the writing was done or not. So anybody can go to court, political parties, civil society groups, or individuals.
Okay, but with this, let's just look at it that the bill is now a law. But can Nigeria realistically execute a fully transparent election come 2027 with what we have now under this law?
This law has a lot of lacuna, a lot of confusion. Understand me? That is what Igini
was saying.
The whole was not exhausted. Now, it has A and B. Understand? What happens if a network fails? Understand me? What do we do? That question was not really answered. If you watch what went that in the Senate, when what's his name, Ababio, when Abaribe was calling for a division, understand me, that there should be no provision. Understand me? Let everything be automatic. Understand? So it wasn't exhausted. The confusion is still there. So people can go to court to seek for interpretation. Understand me? People can still go to court to seek for interpretation.
Okay. So, talking about Igini said so many things. He talked about the fact that with this electoral bill, with this amendment, the way we see it, or with the, of course, it's been passed into law. And he had even said earlier that the president should not sign this into law, thinking that the president might even, I'm sure some Nigerians would have thought that the president would listen to him. And
if he did not favor him, he would not have signed it into law.
You can feel like because it favored him, that's why the president signed it into law.
This speed that we saw today. Because the confusion is there. Understand me? The confusion is there. So, and it is that confusion that they are going to capitalize on to manipulate the election. That's anytime. Maybe in December, in January, or anytime.
So let's go back to Mike Igini. He was talking about the fact that there will be chaos if this is used in 2027 elections. And while he was speaking, he made mention of some things that had happened. He fingered the judiciary, and he was like, the judiciary is one of the judiciary is one of those, or would I say that system has helped us, put us in where we are today. What do you make of that? Do you also agree with that?
Well, Igini is a very experienced electoral officer, and a credible one at that. If he had been this paddy people, easy to compromise, they would have made him INEC chairman. But he's not the one that can easily do what the presidency wants. Understand? That was why he was kicked out. So this thing that Tinubu signed today is going to cause a lot of confusion, because there is no clarity in it. Understand me? There's no clarity in it. So that's why people need to go to court to seek for clarity. Nobody knows where we stand with this thing that Tinubu signed. Understand me? Would there be manual condition? I don't know. Understand me? Will there be transmission that's in real time? I don't know. So there's confusion, and it is this confusion that people are going to capitalize on to manipulate the election.
But the Senate has said that there's electronic transmission of results. It's just that where there's no network, there's a clause for manual collation. That is what the Senate had put forward. And I'm sure that is what is.
But again, everybody, Nigeria, we are talking of automatic transfer.
Real time.
That's why this guy said, what's his name, Abaribe, there should be no provision, because it is this provision that they use to manipulate. Understand? They will tell you that this one did not work. So let's
use this.
Understand me?
But some persons have actually said that even if there's an automatic transmission of results, that politicians can still manipulate and be able to manipulate the infrastructure, the technology, and then we'll now get to have network failures.
It's not possible.
Okay.
It is not possible, because there cannot be manipulation of the network in a whole town. It's not possible.
Not necessarily in a whole town, but maybe
in a polling unit.
not a polling unit.
Center.
Not
how many votes are in the polling unit?
But may not really be a whole town. But it could be a section of a town.
Maximum of 500 votes in each
polling unit.
Understand me? So for me, APC senators know what is waiting for them if there's free, fair, and credible election, and that's why this is happening. But they also don't know, I keep on saying it, the evil that you condone today, the evil that you promoted today may tomorrow come back to hurt you. Because APC is not going to be in power forever. PDP was talking about being in power for 60 years. Today, they are in the opposition. So these people that make this law today may tomorrow find themselves in the opposition. They will now be talking about that this law should be amended because it doesn't favor them anymore.
Let's look at this change to the notice period for 2027 polls. What do you make of it?
Well, that's a guideline has been given. So INEC has that to study it and now choose a time that is comfortable for them. Understand? Elections has always been held in February. But mind it is not in the Constitution. So they can take whatever time is convenient to them and fix it. So I don't see that
as a problem. But the reason for the change isn't a problem because it looks like we're allowing religion begin to interfere with our national policies and all of that. Don't you think so?
Mind you, for the first time in the history of Nigeria, Lent and Ramadan started at the same day. Today is Ash Wednesday. Ramadan started today. Understand me? So nobody has any reason to give, whether a Christian or a Muslim. So assuming that it has held when they put it in 2027, by that time the Christians will be on the Lent period. But
does that stop people from coming out to vote for elections?
It doesn't in any way. Because if they don't go that to work, they'll be suspended. So if they can go to work, students can go that to school, they can also go to vote.
Exactly. So don't you think that that change that was made should not have been made?
For me, the change is not really important. Understand? If people follow the INEC guidelines saying that their primaries will be held in August, understand? 3 months is enough for you to run your campaign. In America in 2024, Kamala Harris used only 3 months. Understand? Even if it has used 2 years, she will not have won. Understand me? So it just 3 months is good. It's enough for anybody that to sell his vision, his manifesto, to the people, because we are not expecting that any stranger in 2027. These are people who we already know their antecedents. I think it's not coming that to tell us anything new. Assuming he is going that to contest, P2B is not going to tell us anything new. Understand? Tinubu is not coming that to tell us anything new. So 3 months will be enough for them to sell themselves to the Nigerian voters.
Okay, let's move on to our next conversation for tonight. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, has expressed deep concern over blanket corruption allegations targeting the judiciary. In remarks captured during a legal event, the CJN lamented that unfounded allegations often made in political or social media circles paint the judiciary with a broad brush of corruption. Admitting that judges and justices are not infallible in the course of their judicial duties, she warned that tagging the entire judiciary as corrupt has a way of weakening the institutions and hurting the integrity of a lot of judges and justices who have been laboring faithfully in the discharge of their duties. The Chief Justice of Nigeria emphasized that attacks on the integrity of the courts erode public trust and undermine the rule of law. Dr. Nosike, the CJN has lamented, according to her, she says, blanket corruption. Dr. Nosike is smiling. Blanket corruption allegations. What do you make of this?
In philosophy, that's what we call deductive inference. Understand? So going by deductive inference, all of them are corrupt. Going by deductive inference, all of them are corrupt from A to Z. You see the same court giving different judgments on a particular case. It happens every day. It happens every day. The same court, high court, will interpret one particular case into several different ways. It is corruption. Understand me? Because there's a legal this thing that we should be following, because when you are that's in court, that's as a lawyer, you have been guided by previous judgments according to so and so versus so and so in 1980 something. Understand that this is the judgment. But since this APC came on board, you cannot do that thing anymore. They have destroyed our judiciary. Understand? You can no more cite court precedences anymore, because you see one particular case, different courts will give different judgments. Understand? During the 2023 that's a presidential that's appeal court, I heard a woman in the court of appeal saying, "We are going to counter their argument." I was ashamed. A judge in an appeal court saying that they are going to counter their argument. Even somebody in law school cannot say such thing, because a judge doesn't counter an argument. What he or she does is to evaluate an argument. Understand me? Take the weight of the law. That's why when you see that the symbol of justice, there's a scale. Now, that scale means the weight of argument, which one is heavier, and judgment will be passed based on it. But a judge in Nigeria of appeal court was, "We are going to counter their argument." I felt ashamed. I felt very, very ashamed. So as I said, going by deductive inference, all the judges in Nigeria are corrupt.
But how did we get to this point where our judiciary has now become a tool in the hands of the political, leaders?
For me, this democracy has a way of corrupting people. Okay. Sincerely, it has a way of corrupting people. Most of my school days were under the soldiers. Understand me? Most of my school days were under the soldiers, and then judges were respected. Understand? Judges were put on the same wavelength with Catholic bishops. Understand? Because Catholic bishops are also respected. But from 1999, it seems everybody, that's hell was let loose on check. You now start seeing judges going to naming ceremony, going to house warming. And when you are going to all these things, you encounter people, you make friends. Understand me? Even a judge is not supposed to print a business card. A judge is not supposed to print complimentary card. But you see these people giving out their numbers. That's where that corruption started. So I can say that it is democracy that corrupted them. The same way it has corrupted our professors. Understand me? The same way it has corrupted our professors. So democracy has a way of corrupting individuals and institutions.
you know, you said something. You said democracy, but if the individual does not want to be corrupted, don't you think that person can stand against whatever it is that is being thrown at him or her?
They say there's a saying that everybody has his price. Understand me? So when you mention 1, 2, and the person say no, you've not gotten to his price. Understand me? So, and what causes this corruption is exposure. Understand me? When you begin to go where you are not supposed to go. Because judges are not supposed to be socializing. Understand me? Judges are not supposed to be socializing. That is because when you are socializing, you are making friends. And these people will demand something from you. And if you say no, understand, it could be breaking friendship.
Okay, how does the perception of our judiciary, you know, so many persons like you've mentioned also that you said they're all corrupt, and we've heard what Kekereko is saying.
I say going by, as in philosophy, that's what we call deductive inference. And when we apply that to the Nigerian, all of them are corrupt from.
Okay, but how does this perception affect electoral justice, human rights enforcement, and the credibility?
One, let us start with the FDI, foreign direct investment. No good investor, no good businessman will go to any country where the judiciary doesn't dispense justice. Because it means if things go wrong, you are not going to get justice in the court. And this is one of the reasons why investors are not coming to Nigeria. Understand me? But government don't know. That is why Buhari behaved like Peter until Jesus Christ intervened. Understand me? Buhari won that toy there for 8 years. No investors came. Understand me? And the same thing is happening with Boname Tinubu now. Investors will not come because investors are looking at our judicial system. One, they are not independent. Understand me? It is for the highest bidder. A lot of the judges are corrupt. So it means that that country is not good for business. Then, as I am now, whatever happens, I prefer settling out of court. Understand me? That will be better for me. Understand me? Because I don't trust the judicial system in this country. I don't trust the judicial system because they have even become partisan. That's why a judge of appeal court was saying we are going to counter their argument, which means you have now become that's a prosecutor. And you remember that PDP said that some judges will not those people.
Okay, so how can our judiciary, because we actually need our judiciary, we cannot take it away. Judiciary is a very important aspect of our society. We have 3 arms of government, and judiciary is the 3rd arm of government. And it's very, very important when it comes to almost everything. We can see our elections. I mentioned earlier on that Mike Igini talked about the finger at the judiciary and said that are the ones where we are today in terms of our elections. The judiciary can be blamed or have a hand in it. And how can the judiciary begin to rebuild confidence while still maintaining independence?
What happened there in elections? In elections, INEC needs the judiciary into temptation, but the judiciary are always unable to deliver themselves from evil. Understand me? Because if the elections are free, fair, few cases will be going to the court. Understand me? Few cases. So it is a INEC that is leading the judiciary into temptation. Understand me? But unfortunately for the judiciary, They don't deliver themselves from evil. Understand me? So if election can be free, fair, the number of people that will be petitions that will be going to the court will not be much. Under this APC, under this 2023 presidential election, we have more than 1,100 cases in court. So and what happened? It is INEC. It was caused by INEC. If your election was, let me say, 50% fair, understand? The cases that will go to court will be reduced by 50%. Understand me? So, and they're telling me what we should do. What we should do. There's nothing we can do with this present mindset.
What's the present mindset? What present mindset is that?
Corruption, bias, and so on and so forth. Understand me? Telling me maybe what you now want to tell me, how can we reform our judiciary with this set of judges? The answer is there's nothing we can do.
But you know, one of the things
we are going to live with it until their face disappears.
But Kekere Ekun would have a different opinion from what you're saying, because she actually said that.
What's her own antecedent? What happened when she was in Imo State?
What happened?
She was the guy that made number 4 to become a number 1.
But she's, okay, so you know, this statement she made, they were getting to appoint new judges, and she said that some of the things that they use when it comes to appointing these judges, she talked about the fact that they look at integrity and all of. Don't you think, can't you just cut some slack to the judiciary? Don't you think that we still have some of them who are not corrupt?
Can you just name 5? We are now in the city of Sodom and Gomorrah. If you can mention 3 Nigerian judges that are not corrupt, I will agree with you. Just mention 3 only. Mention 3 only. We saw what happened when all of them were singing "On Your Mandate We Stand."
Okay, so you're saying that there's no hope for the judiciary. Is that what you're trying to say?
Until this mindset disappears, understand me, there's no hope.
But when you say this mindset disappearing, is it going to just disappear in the whim of the moment?
Maybe a hurricane coming and sweeping all of them, that will start afresh.
Oh.
But as long as these people remain, there's no hope.
But I don't say, you know that what you're saying cannot happen. We still have these are judges.
So we have to live with it. That's what I'm saying. It is better not going that to court. That's why I respect Dino. Understand me? After the Kogi election, Dino knows our Nigerian judges, but he said going that to court is wasting his money. Understand me? And SDP that went, what happened? SDP that went that to court in Kogi, what happened? Mind you, the election in Kogi was inconclusive. Are you aware of it? The election that brought Ododo in was inconclusive. Then SDP went to court. Dino said that he would not go. At the end of the day, what happened? SDP wasted their resources.
Okay, let's move on. Former Anambra State Governor Peter Obi has faulted President Bola Tinubu over what he described as the failure to provide stable electricity. In a statement, Obi condemned the plan by the Tinubu administration to disconnect presidential villa from the national grid, describing it as a gross neglect and deeply worrisome. He further reminded the president of his campaign promise to deliver steady electricity within 4 years in government. In a related development, the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero, has criticized ongoing reforms, saying Nigerians are paying for darkness amid tariff increases and persistent outages. President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero, has decried the privatization of Nigeria's electricity industry, saying that it has failed and has plunged workers, households and businesses into deeper energy poverty. He disclosed that more than a decade after privatization, the sector remains characterized by frequent grid collapses, poor supply, and rising tariffs. Ajero said electricity generation has remained largely stagnant between 4,000 and 5,000 megawatts, the same level recorded before privatization, describing the situation as an evidence of systemic failure. The NLC president further disclosed that decentralization alone would not resolve the sector's challenges without a clear national framework, calling for a national stakeholders summit involving workers, manufacturers, and sector experts to develop a people-centered power roadmap. Dana CK, I'm sure, I don't know if you have power where you stay, but we've seen a lot of electric. We've had so many people complain about this in recent times, in few weeks, and last week, and then this week as well. So what do you make of all of this, Peter?
And then, I told you on this program that I have resolved to be buying wash and wear shirts.
Okay,
understand me? I told you this.
Yes, you said that, yes.
Understand? Because these people will disappoint you, these people will mess you up. Before, in 2022, P2B went to Egypt to study how Egypt has suddenly started having a constant power supply. Those in APC were mocking him. Those in APC were mocking him. And Tinubu said, if he doesn't give Nigeria stable power supply, let them not vote for him in 2027. Today, we've gone from fry pan to fire, and people are still defecting, campaigning for somebody who told you, if I don't do this, don't vote for me. Understand me? So that shows you how hypocrisy that has entered into a lot of Nigerian system. So without power, economy cannot grow. Without power, economy cannot grow. Everywhere in the world that there's that the economy has developed, power is the main thing. Power is the main thing. So and that is why we are no more. That's in 2015, we are the fastest growing economy in Africa, Nigeria, fastest growing economy in Africa, and the third fastest growing in the world in 2015. But today we are no more talking about a growing economy. We are not talking about the biggest party in Africa. Understand? So, but Tinubu or Aso Rock disconnecting from the national grid, to me, is the height of insensitivity. Is the height of insensitivity. It shows that these people don't care a hoot about how the Nigerian people are feeling. Because to be a leader, one of the qualities is empathy, compassion, having the capacity to feel what your people are feeling. So when you disconnect, you have shown that you are enjoying and your people are in darkness. Election comes, you go out and tell them that to vote for you. So a president is the father of the country. That's why, for me, society begins from the family. So imagine where people are staying just in two rooms. The sitting room, or the father is there watching television, watching CNN. In the other room, the children are in darkness. Would you call that person a good father? Would you call that person a good father? So that's exactly what Tinubu wants to do. That's exactly what Tinubu. So for me, at least, even if you are candles, pretend. Understand me? pretend that at least you have concern for these people. So for me, disconnecting from the national grid is the height of insensitivity. It doesn't show leadership at all. And therefore, for Ajeru, for more than 15 years, Ajeru was the General Secretary of National Union of Electricity Employees, NUI. So he is in the system and he knows what he is talking about. And this privatization that they did was fake. Understand me? Those sectors were handed over to politicians. Those things were handed over to politicians. Understand? So now, and you cannot give what you don't have. It was not real experts, understand, that got all these things. So that's the reason why we are facing what we are facing. Just as he said, Nigerians are paying for darkness. That's why, for me, I like this prepared meters. And that's why I'm still sympathizing with those who are using estimated bills. Because you will not have electricity for 2 weeks. Understand? You will still pay the same thing at the end of the month. They will be in their offices, be counting for you while you are in darkness or burning fuel. Where I am staying, at times I see electricity at from 12 midnight. Then before 5 a.m., understand me, they will take it. Meanwhile, you have started using fuel from 6 in the evening till around 11. Understand me? Which means they are not helping you in any way. They are not helping you in any way. And Nigerians still want to, this is, it's unfortunate.
Let's have your concluding thought, Dr. Anosike, before we draw the curtains on the show.
Well, for me, people should go to court to challenge this bill that Tinubu signed into law because there's a lot of confusion. And if it's used to conduct elections, the kind of court cases that we have in 2027, understand, will be more than 3 times what we have in 2023. Understand me? Then on the judiciary, no hope. Understand? Judiciary, no hope. Do everything not to go to Nigerian court.
Dr. Anosike, that's well, you said that's your thought, anyways.
If Peter Anosike speaking and say no hope, understand me? Then on the electricity, that's the reason why we have more than 80 million unemployed youths, because there's no power in the country. And when there's no power, business cannot grow.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Anosike, for being a part of the issues tonight. And that is all we have for today's episode of The Issues. We explore the challenges facing Nigeria's politics and governance. Thank you for being a part of it. Don't forget to tune in next time for more in-depth analysis and discussion. Follow us on social media to stay up to date on the latest news and insights. Until next time, stay informed. I am Nenna Ndomdioto, and this has been The Issues on Voice of the People Television, where the future faces forward. Please don't forget to stay tuned for Hashtag with Vivian by 8 p.m. Don't go away.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Apelon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, Live it with us. Catch us on the Locker Room and Voice of the People television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 2012, please the sport.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOPTV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOPTV, Voice of the People Television.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People television, where your health has a voice.
In a world where power shakes with every headline,
In a nation full of questions,
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing. And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns